Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Mr. Hino with Mr. Hino's Lego Robotics. Today's video, I want to open up the discussion about what could possibly happen this year if First Lego League can't do what they normally do and have us compete as teams in one place. So today's video is going to talk about possible options and possible things that you can do in case there really isn't a competition like we're used to seeing it. So if you want to hear about it and hear my thoughts, stay with me. And after watching this video, if you like what you see, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right there. Come on, I know you can do it. So who would have thought that, we're almost at the end of June and thinking all the way back to March, who would have thought that this far into the year, you would still have the craziness going on with, mask wearing and 6 feet apart and social distancing and everything like that. So the conversation has to come up now is how do we think about competing and, how different is it going to look like than what we're used to seeing it. So today, what I want to do is talk about 4 things that you can start to be thinking about and possibly practicing with your teams to hopefully get prepared for something out of the ordinary that, we're not used to seeing. So here we go. Here is number 1. Think about practicing with your team with some type of technology hangout like Zoom or Google Hangouts, because I feel like, with First, they're not going to be wanting to be responsible for some type of outbreak. Can you imagine the headlines? 6 kids get sick at a competition. They just want to stay as far away from that as they can. So I can see if things don't get better, I can see us having some type of virtual competition, which I've already gotten emails saying that, this is what's an option and they're planning for this. And in my gut, I feel like that's the way it's going to be, because right now, there's not even a surefire plan for the way schools are going to open up. So what I can picture in my mind is, judges on a Zoom call with your team and with you as a coach, and having you guys just do what you would normally do at a competition, but in a Zoom or a Google Hangout type environment. So it'd be nice as soon as possible to get your team comfortable with just taking turns talking on a Zoom call, sharing things, being able to know, your time limits that you guys always have when you go in for a judging, just so that your kids are comfortable being able to, talk about what they would normally talk about in a competition, whether it's the robot, a project, or core values, in a scenario where there's judges on a Zoom call. Hey, how you doing, guys? Welcome to your judging, your 10:30 judging for core values. Having your kids just be able to go, hey, I'm Tommy, I'm Susie, and, be able to have a conversation. And that's going to be, uncomfortable if they're not used to doing that. So it'd be nice, every now and then, maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, I don't know, be able to have a Zoom call or a Google Hangouts with your team just to check in. Hey guys, I'm just saying hi, but we're also practicing getting used to being on a phone call or a Zoom call like that. So, come whenever the season might start for you guys and, your competition rolls around, that they're, seasoned veterans with all of these new technologies now, where they're like, oh yeah, I do a Zoom call every once a week, on my team. They're just going to feel more comfortable. They're going to be at ease, and your team will just have a leg up on a team that just has not done anything like that. They're just going to be like, what do we do? What do we say? Is it my turn to talk? So number 1, again, is just getting your students, your teams comfortable with some type of Zoom or Google Hangouts call. Number 2 would be getting your team used to some type of video recording of your robot game. I've been trying to do that here on my channel where, we've had 2 online competitions already. And so everybody who's competed, they've had to take their phone or whatever they're recording their robot mission with, and being able to get the shot, being able to, show what the mission is, how it was accomplished. because, if we go virtual, so will your robot game. And so in my mind, I can picture the judges, and I don't think this would be something where, you can send in your missions. I think this would be kind of like a Zoom call where I can see a judge saying, okay, guys, it's 2:00. It's time for your first round of your robot game. And somebody is just there recording the robot doing the missions. So I can just see, the judge sitting back there going, okay, you guys got 2.5 minutes, 3, 2, 1, Lego. And, your team just goes through your missions. Somebody's recording it, and, you go your 2.5 minutes, and with the way you try to get your points like normal. But, in a virtual scenario like that, I can see where they're saying, hey, it's not safe enough for us to compete in one large area. Let's, do this virtually over the phone or something like that. Show me your missions. And I can see where your team would have to just be able to go, okay, let's do this. Let's get our robot ready. Hey, Johnny, you're video recording this, go. So I would say it's a smart idea for number 2 to just have somebody, whether it's you coaches, whether it's somebody who does good on your team, to just be well prepared to video record the robot game and be able to just, for judges, have them be able to see what your missions were. Number 3, I would say this is definitely positive thinking, because I can see where, right now, some of us in certain states can go into certain stores if you're wearing a mask. So I would love the thought of competing like we always do, but, coaches, students wear masks, the judges wear masks. So I would say for number 3, and this is going to not happen until your students start the new school year, but have them just be able to get used to doing things with a mask on. I can just picture in my head, the 2 people that are in charge of the robot game, where they have a mask on because they're, you can't social distance when you're doing your robot game. You guys have to be right in there with the robots. You have to, help swap out the attachments. But if you're wearing a mask, I can see how that would be a lot safer. And I'm also picturing the judges wearing a mask too, or the referees. So for me, I'm just going to be honest. It's hard for me to walk into a store for 15 minutes with a mask on. It's just really hard to breathe. And, I've been doing it for three months now. So I would just say, figure out for your team what's a comfortable way for them to perform that's safe, whether that's with a mask, whether that's with a face shield. I don't know. But that's what I would start having the conversation with is, hey, how comfortable are you guys with the mask? Do you guys think we can perform this good? And I hope we can actually get to that point where, they say, hey guys, we're going to compete like we normally do, but, you're going to be wearing a mask. I would love that as opposed to a virtual, situation. But that all depends on how the state is doing. That's, depending on if the outbreak is getting better or worse. So my opinion changes with the way the healthcare system is telling us that things are going. And number 4, I would, during this situation right now, it would be neat for teams to be trying to help out their community right now. How awesome would it be for your team if, we were to have some type of either virtual or in-person judging for their core values, to be able to say, hey, we, safely, our team helped out our community this way through the crisis. We did this to help out people. We tried our best during this situation to try to make things better, whether that's for their family, their community, some type of situation now we might be thinking about where your team can say, you know what, back in June, back in, whatever the month is, we decided we were going to do this to help out whatever people group. And, it doesn't even have to do with the new theme, because the new theme has nothing to do with, helping out a community during crisis. Unless you can think about a connection, because, the connection is, the way we do games or athletics. But right now, that's something you can think about is how can your team, so if we can focus in on this, how can your team be helping out right now your community, or a certain people group. That's just a neat way for you to present that to judges, because judges love when teams can have some type of community involvement, you know, sharing, helping out. So it'd be neat right now to have a situation where your team can come together and say, hey, we helped out, you know, this people group, and that was a way our team came together. We helped out each other in a safe manner. Okay, guys, so today that was just 4 things to think about as we move, you know, into the summer. We get closer to, you know, the next year, the next season with, you know, replay and game changers. Just something to think about, so that way you coaches can be prepared, students, you can be prepared for just anything that rolls our way. Because, you know, when you flip on the news, every day is different. Hey, things are getting better. Hey, things are getting worse. So it changes day to day. So that's why we have to be on our toes and just be prepared for anything. So in case, you know, we're doing a virtual judging, your kids are like, we're on Zoom so much. We've done so many Zoom calls. Let's do this. So that way there's just the confidence that, you know, your team wants. Okay, guys, hopefully you're still staying safe. I'm Mr. Hino from Mission Zega Robotics. I'm out.
He's out.
He's out.
We got this.
We got this.
We got this, guys.
Hey guys, Mr. Hino here. Thank you so much for watching. And if you love robotics, don't forget to check out these videos also, because they're cool. Okay guys, take care.